We're doing it
Doing it
live.
live.
We are doing it live. So I'm here with Herogeek.
Yeah.
One half of a very dynamic, exciting
Fantastic
duo.
duo. Yeah. Gilly's a little late, but
Gilly's a
he
little late.
he should be joining us momentarily. So
Momentarily, I'm gonna wear. Tell you what, man, I'm gonna wear my pedophile glasses until he gets here.
Your cult leader glasses.
My cult leader glass. You think they're cult leader?
I think they're cult leader. Yeah.
My wife thinks it's a creepy pedophile.
Okay. Well, it's just a mix of all of those. Why not?
It's a mix of all of it. But I'm very excited to have you on. We were chatting about this project prior to going live. But you do, I'm glad that you really didn't get delve into it much.
Yeah, we mostly spoke about Tales in the Classroom and how much I enjoyed it and stuff like that. So,
I said, I'm very happy about that.
It was phenomenal. It was a really well put together book.
It's always good to have your work appreciated.
Yeah, it's funny because I've read quite a few indie books and CG adjacent books and stuff like that, and yours is one of the best ones. Yours is by far in the top 3 book that I've read.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing push-ups now because you're getting me all jazzed up.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was really, really good.
It's I feel very grateful, and especially by a fellow creator, somebody that's got his own project and a project that looks as good as yours does.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's a project that, for me, has been very much... people have been hungering for it because, like we've discussed before, man, everybody's tired of this whole postmodern reinvention of superheroes.
Deconstruction garbage, yeah.
Yeah, it started with Alan Moore, and it was novel and fresh, then Frank Miller and all those cats.
Yeah.
It was fresh and novel then. It was still sort of like cool with Mark Millar, but it's really grown. It's
ironic. I did put I posted something about Mark Millar about like Kick-Ass and Invincible and like The Boys and how much I don't like their stuff and how much damage they've done to the superhero genre, in my opinion, because a lot of people say, oh well, what does it matter if it doesn't affect the mainstream, if it doesn't affect Marvel and DC. But the thing is though that it has affected Marvel and DC because they've influenced Marvel and DC to become darker and more cynical. So the evidence is there. So that's another reason why I don't like it,
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Invincible I haven't read. I did read a glimpse, like it was a 15-page sort of
preview or something.
Not preview, but like a glimpse into this fight scene between Invincible and who I assume is his main antagonist, and it was one of the most vicious, bloody fights that I've ever seen. Probably in a comic. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, all the fights in Invincible are like super brutal.
Okay, so that I don't like. But if it was all building up to this one, then I would have been like, all right, this is like, it's gruesome and it's...
No, they're all gruesome, all of them.
Okay, all right, then I don't like that. I don't like it.
They're all that gruesome. The decapitations.
It's a shame. It's a shame. So what is it with who's the creator again? It's like the Kirkman, right?
Robert Kirkman is one of the creators for Invincible. Yeah, it's Robert.
So is that a shtick or Kirkman? Because I haven't read much of his work.
He's the one that did the Walking Dead comics.
I know that, yeah, but like zombies are supposed to be gruesome, but
but apparently he can't separate the gruesomeness outside of zombie stuff. Apparently,
really.
But I mean, Invincible is a good example of it, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in at least giving it a shot, man. Because you were talking about, but you don't like Mark Millar as well.
Yeah, I don't like Kick-Ass. I'm just not a fan of that deconstruction kind of this dark, violent, gory kind of take on superheroes.
But
I
it
just don't
started with
enjoy
the
it.
Ultimates. It started with the Ultimates,
Yes, well, yeah. I started with the Ultimates with like this is one part where like the
or even
blob is
before. Sorry, the Authority.
the Authority. I also like heard Miracle Man is also a lot like that.
Okay.
I think Mark Millar was involved in that too. I think, or no,
Miracle
was it?
Man, Alan Moore's Miracle Man.
I think so. Um, but I would say it all started in the '80s with like The Dark Knight Returns and
Yeah.
like Watchmen. Those were like kind of the pioneers for that kind of like take on
For sure.
superheroes.
I think. Listen, I know this is sacrilege for a lot of people, but I think they're both overrated. Those works.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's going to get me a lot of flack on social media, but I don't care. I'm used to flack. I'm used to it.
Yeah. But by the way, and I admire like both those artists. I think Miller's one of my top 5 of all time, and Alan Moore's a fantastic writer as well.
Mhm.
But those particular works, I'm not.
Well, the thing is, though, I like Frank Miller did 300, and I like that a lot. 300 is really good, and Sin City is also really really good. But
And did you not like Daredevil?
I haven't read his Daredevil, but I heard it's really good.
Dude, I loved it, but the thing is, Daredevil. If you're gonna have like imagine a shared universe of superheroes, right? Which is what the Marvel universe is all about.
Yeah.
You have space for one dark, brooding. You have space for somebody that's sort of like the flagship for the reinvention of superheroes, right? For the dark. Oh, somebody's commenting. Huge glasses. Yeah, for sure. They're my cult leader.
Your cult leader, pedophile, serial killer glasses. Yeah.
That's right. My Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. But yeah, like you have space for that, and Daredevil's always been sort of like the grimmest of all the Marvel heroes. The one that has the most like really twisted shit happen to him.
Yeah, but I think he's still relatively heroic and noble and good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, of course. But he is, and I don't think Miller ever got away from that, except for that one scene where Daredevil is ready to like blow Bullseye's head off.
Oh, really? That happens? Okay.
Yeah, like he plays Russian, but he plays Russian roulette with him.
Oh, okay.
Like he goes, and then he goes,
Oh man, where is Gilly? Come on.
He's coming soon. Margot DePaulo is agreeing with us.
Yeah.
She says that Watchmen is overrated, and to a degree, boring. I'm gonna have to agree.
I think so. I did not dig it. I mean,
I don't get what all the hoopla is about. It's. I don't think the universe is that fascinating. I think the ending is terrible. The thing with the octopus overtaking the world, that's the big threat that they have to prevent. I mean, that's so like on the nose and so.
Well, didn't they change it for the movie? I think
that's the one time that Snyder ever did anything right. If he did that, was to change that ending.
Yeah.
Although even by doing that, he didn't prevent the Watchmen story from being hopelessly tedious, from my perspective.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about the Midnighter. I don't care about Rorschach's the most interesting, but I still don't care about him.
I like Night Owl. He was my favorite character. He was the only truly heroic character in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Silk Spectre. She was kind of heroic too. Fine, I guess.
Yeah, but they're all still like overly flawed and
yeah, true. It's
tortured for no reason,
No reason.
And then the worst of it was the comedian because Gilly's in the house.
Oh, finally.
Yo,
sorry for the delay, man. Just trying to sync stuff up over here.
You got me to take off my my Dave Koresh glasses.
Yeah.
I said I was going to wear them until you made an appearance.
Well, you can keep them on. They'd actually look pretty good.
No, it's okay, man. I'm happy without them.
Oh, okay.
But I'm really happy to have you here, man. What were you doing? What were you up to?
Oh, nothing. Just watching the kid until the wifey got off work, and then trying to daddy duty, and then trying to sync the StreamYard to like a wired connection because the last couple of broadcasts I've been having connectivity issues, and it'd be knocking me off. So
really,
yeah. So I was trying on the desktop, and I was.
I hear it's the COVID that since COVID started, everybody's like clogging up the
internet. It could be that. I haven't gotten kicked that much, but the last two stream sessions I had, I got kicked off. So just trying to fight that, but hopefully hopefully I don't get kicked off here.
No, you're good, man. I have a good feeling we're gonna be good.
All right, cool.
We're gonna be good because this topic is too interesting for you to follow away from it. And and what is it? What are we gonna be? We're gonna be speaking.
We are gonna be talking about our Star Wars fan comic, The DARTH KRELL COMETH.
Oh yeah.
Live now on Kickstarter. So.
Yes.
And you know what I'm going to do, man? Can I share? Do you mind? Will I be?
Totally. Yes. Do the share screen. Do it.
If I share screen, I'm going to do it. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
Here it is, man.
There it is.
And not on Indiegogo. I'm almost offended.
Oh, don't be. I know people get offended over the platform you choose. I had a campaign going on at Indiegogo at the time, which is why I don't want to put two campaigns at once.
That one's canceled right now. But still,
I canceled.
We're not going to change it now. So
let's see if this funds. Hopefully, we're trying to get it to fund. I mean, if it doesn't, Indiegogo will be a second option. But we got some steam here. We got 30-something more days to go, so we definitely could see this to
we've
the finish line.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of traction on Kickstarter. So it's been good for the campaign. So I'm not going to complain. It's good.
There's no reason why you wouldn't get traction because this project looks fantastic. The art looks great. Who's the artist that you got for this?
My buddy Sal. He reached out to me. He wanted to do a project. We did have a project we were going to work on together called The Adventure of the Star Gunners. And then with the state of affairs with Disney and everything, I said, you know what? I said, I think it's time to do a fan comic. I think it's time to get a little controversial. And I talked with Ron, and I had this idea for Darth Krell, and this guy, they wanted to hear nothing about Darth Krell.
I'll admit, at first I wasn't feeling the idea. But Gilly kept on.
So hold on. So it's not a character that you've invented. It's a character that's out there.
Yes, it's a character that's out there. He was in a couple of really, really good arc for on the Clone Wars animated series.
Mm-hmm.
And that arc ended with him presumably, dead, right?
Dude, it's the weirdest thing. I keep getting knocks on my I have a ghost in town, man. I promise you, because I get whatever. Keep going.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so the arc ended with, Darth Krell, dead.
Yeah.
But Gilly just like, no, he's not dead. He's not dead. Apparently the character really resonated with Gilly. And he just came up with this idea, like, what if he's not dead? And he just kind of beat me over the head with it.
Well, the reason why Ron didn't want to have nothing to do with Pon Krell is because he's a really loathsome, hateful character. He hates clones. In the episode arc in the Clone Wars, he literally kills, I want to say about 30, 40 clones. Yeah. He goes on it's just a crazy
spree.
Yeah, a crazy murderous spree. He has a connection
they're just
to the dark
clones,
side.
Man. They're just clones.
hey, some people they really love the clones. I'm one of them. I do love the clones.
I love the clones.
But I was intrigued by Krell, and he literally gets shot in the back. And if you could bring Darth Maul, who got cut in half, if you could bring him back, I think you can make the case for this guy, Krell, to survive being shot in the back. And we made it work, and we got a really big storyline that connects to the New Hope trilogy, but not in a way that infringes on it, because we're diehard fans, but something that's bubbling in the background, like a separate cool story with some characters that Ron had created that I liked. And I said, we're going to use these creations and we're going to put them into this Pon Krell story that we're kind of working on. And it's fun, man. I think this fan comic could rival some of the continuity we're seeing, even in published comics. I just think passionate about it. This
is better than a lot of the stuff that Marvel Star Wars comics are doing right now.
Yeah, it's a throwback to the Dark Horse era when they were doing their Star Wars run. Yeah, I want to say that's kind of like what we're doing.
So you're saying that I haven't been reading the Star Wars, the Marvel take on Star Wars. Have they been? Has it sort of been a failure in your estimation?
Yeah, I would say so. Particularly with how they've handled Princess Leia. We made a video about that. About one example in the Star Wars comics where they kind of took Leia and made her into this kind of insufferable, kind of really bitchy Mary Sue.
Okay.
And that's kind of been across the board in novels and other comics and stuff like that. And
I feel like that's a note from on high. Yeah?
Oh, for sure. And propping her up, they're also downgrading the iconic characters that we know. They're belittling them. They're deconstructing them.
Getting the shit canned quite thoroughly.
Yeah. Lando and Han and Luke.
Han is toxic. He's a toxic masculine.
Apparently, yeah.
So here's the thing: not all the Marvel books, I mean, have been that bad. I mean, there's a lot that I haven't read with the Marvel. I've read more of the Dark Horse, but so yeah, it's just. But we see it, the real fans. They kind of see when this little agenda's kind of pushed in there, and they say, "Oh, well, you're afraid of strong female characters." Well, no, we're not, because if you remember Princess Leia, she was a strong female character. She wasn't your traditional princess. So that kind of argument fades out. So we just want to get back to focusing on what makes Star Wars really great, without seeing how Disney kind of, botched the handling of the trilogy. And we're kind of seeing that seep into either some of the novels or some of the comics. So we're doing a fan comic. I've seen fan films that were crowdfunded. I did my research. We're not going to make any profit off this. The money that we're making is going to the artwork, is going to printing. And if we have anything that is remaining, that will be used to offset the next book.
The second issue.
It'll fluctuate the goal or whatnot. Yeah,
I love that, but that plays into the my next question, which is what are the implications in regards to rights and stuff? Because this is obviously Star Wars is not open.
No, obviously not. And a lot of people, we've got a lot of comments on it. Oh, when is Disney going to send you the cease and desist letter? When are they going to shut you down? When are they going to, I'm Gilly. Hey, you've gotten those kind of comments too.
Yeah, I just preface it in that when we're promoting this book, we're saying it's unofficial. We don't have the permission to do this, but fan fiction, right? This is just fan fiction leveled up, right? So if you see fan fiction, people write stories of whatever they want. You just got words. So we got fan fiction, but the same fan fiction that we see in movies on YouTube that's available free for everyone, we're taking that logic, we're putting it in a comic wrapping. And if we do fund this, it's going to be free to everybody. Digital will be for free to everyone.
Yeah, we're going to set up a website, and you're going to be able to read it out there. Yeah.
We don't have the permission to sell physical copies and make profit of it. So the only way we're giving a physical copy is through the limited campaign. That's all the physical copies you're going to get. Because we don't, like I said, we don't have the permission to sell physical copies. It's almost like you're getting this physical copy, and it's an appreciation, and this is what it is. It's helping us to raise the money for the artwork, and that's it. Like later down the line, hey, I missed issue 1. Can I get issue 1? Oh, we can't do that.
So it's not a for-profit venture.
No, not at all. Yeah, no way. Yeah,
I love it. It's a passion. It's a passion.
Definitely.
Project.
Yeah,
it's just
definitely.
I love Star Wars so much. So, I mean, I live.
Listen, Disney would have to be exceedingly evil to try to put the stamp on try to stop something like this.
I wouldn't put it past them. I honestly kind of keep on waiting for them to say something to us.
Well, here's the thing. They had an issue with Star Trek, and one of the fan films though grossed in crowdfunding over $1 million. So if we're doing this comic and we're making 50 to 100 grand on the comic, I could see them definitely wanting to put a pin in it. But what we're doing is kind of like if you go to a convention, you have an artist, he'll draw a Spider-Man picture. Does he have the right to draw Spider-Man? No, but he'll do a commission and he'll make $100. And this gray area where it just exists. So I'm taking that logic with the fan comic where, hey, we don't have the rights to do it. We're not making a profit of it. Be transparent, show receipts, whatever you guys need. But this is love. Consider this a job application, if anything. This is like, we want to show that we got a great story here that could be, something if Disney wanted to really make this something. We want to
and with the
create a good story
going on right now, that things are going to change a lot at Lucasfilm and Disney. I mean, that's just great news. I'm pretty excited about that.
Tell me about that, baby, because I don't know.
Okay, so I don't know if you saw the video, but Doomcock did about this, but apparently there's a civil war going on in Lucasfilm between Kathleen Kennedy's kind of ilk and then Jon Favreau's kind of team, right?
I know whose side I'm on.
Yeah, Jon Favreau, all the way, of course.
Kathleen Kennedy, no.
Anyway, so it's huge right now, and then apparently there's been some really big updates on it that Doomcock reported on, rumors that
Doomcock. I gotta sub to this dude's channel.
Oh, he's awesome. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, actually.
Yeah, he sprung a lot of leaks. So I mean,
they say he's heavily malformed facially.
Probably.
I'm joking.
I'm
trying to build up the mystique.
He broke the news. I don't want to talk too much about it because it kind of has to do with.
I'll just put my glasses back
with something that happens in Star Wars Rebels, and Gilly hasn't finished it.
Yeah, so, I'm on the last season of Rebels.
Once Gilly does watch all of Rebels, we're gonna make a video about it.
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
But are you a proponent of Star Wars Rebels or no, Hero?
Yes, I enjoy it quite a bit. I like that. I like Clone Wars.
I'm not judging either way or the one way or the other because I haven't watched it, but I know I have seen Dave Filoni's comments. Dave Filoni, am I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in some hot water right now. I'll say that.
Well, but I have to tell you, man, I was always deeply annoyed by that character, Ahsoka character.
Which one?
I feel like everything that people say about these days, people are sort of like revolting against the idea of what is the Mary Sue?
Uh-huh.
I think she's the OG. She's the proto Mary Sue, man.
Which one?
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Yeah.
Ahsoka.
I would say that.
I'll tell you something. Ashoka, did you play KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah. Oh, I did. I love KOTOR.
For me, it's like one of the top 5 best.
Oh yeah, for sure. The narrative on there, the twist there that's what makes storytelling, right?
One of the best twists in fiction. Period.
Oh yeah.
Forget video games.
Yeah, for sure.
But what? One of the great pleasures that I took from playing that game was being able to kill that Twi'lek, that blue Twi'lek. You remember her?
I remember. I can't remember her character, but I know she's on the team. Yeah.
Was entering. Forcing the Wookiee to kill.
No, they had some small little subplots in there that were so great, man. Oh my gosh, it's worth replaying that game. It's worth remaking that damn game with today's graphics. Jesus,
that game that was Bioware in their
prime. Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I like Ahsoka. I know Gil likes Ahsoka too. So
here's the thing. I definitely like Ahsoka, but I did have questions with Ron when we were talking about the last season with Clone Wars, and I get what you're saying with the Mary Sue somewhat. And then only in the last season is where I've seen her. She take blaster shots. She's still moving. They're really pushing her really hard.
That and also like the whole bubbly personality. Like, I don't know. Man. It's just not my type of.
What I would say, hold on. What I would say on that is, I don't know. Are you fresh on the full Clone Wars series?
No. No,
Okay, yeah, like if when you do have the free time, with maybe the pandemic allows that, and you start getting into it, because I never got into the Clone Wars right when it came out. What got me back into the Clone Wars was the Mandalorian. That show was so good, where I'm like, okay, now's my time. I'm going to go back into Clone Wars. I got the list, the episode list, where it says watch it in this continuity, and I watch it, and I got really hooked all over again into Star Wars. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have got into Pong Krell, which created the story, but that was me going back into Star Wars, then getting back into Rebels. So with Ahsoka's character, they do some things really great with her early on to really cement that she's
okay. But tell me something. I'll do all that.
Yeah,
happily.
Mm-hmm.
But haven't they retconned it? So like all of that is like not
that actually. I get you on there. That I don't think the TV show hasn't been retconned. That's the one thing that's safe. Yeah, that. So that's one reason why I got into it too, because I'm like, okay,
and
this is.
She continued on to Rebels, and I think Gilly, you like her on that too.
Oh
right?
no, yeah, for sure. Like I said, my only.
sorry, man. I just think the higher ups in Disney and.
Kathleen Kennedy.
You don't understand that people actually value continuity, and
they ruined that. I'll definitely give you that.
They like to have a holistic narrative and universe in their mind to like cling to, and you can't just be remaking the rules of the game every 5 seconds.
Yeah. Well,
actually. Interesting you should bring that up, because the EU, the expanded universe, which is kind of this big deal. I'm kind of like diving into it again myself right now, but what we're doing with the Star Wars fanverse is we are taking elements from Disney's canon, and we're also taking a lot of elements from the expanded universe. We're kind of mixing and matching to create our own universe.
Yeah, we're kind of making it seem where it could exist in Disney's canon and it could exist within the expanded universe. It's sad. Like, I don't know how Disney would take all this great storytelling, all these great characters, and just say, well, it's legends. It's not canon. It's just quote unquote legends. Like, for me, whatever they say is legends, I consider it as, like it's truth. That's just me. Yeah. That's the fan in me.
So like, we're mixing and matching. That's what we're doing. That's what the fanverse is. The mix and match of both.
Yeah, it's almost like
in our verse, things like Clone Wars and Rebels and the Mandalorian, those happen.
Okay.
We
and also like Rogue One, also because I like that movie. So
Rogue One,
and then we also take into account a lot of the stuff from the expanded universe. So we kind of like merge the two together.
Exactly. Like if something comes out with this, we want to show that, hey, like if Disney gets to the point where they're on the right course, we want to show, hey, we got a narrative that could work, that could fit. We're not into the retcon. It's funny that you say that, because how would you stricken away all this stuff as this isn't canon? It's almost like if you guys saw Terminator, right? Terminator 1, Terminator 2, those movies were great, right?
Amazing films.
And then they had Terminator 3, which you could argue was like, then the following Terminator movies, they all fell apart. But then this is the magical Band-Aid, right? We're going to create Terminator Dark Fate, and we're going to retcon all the other movies past Terminator 2, right? And just say, from Terminator 2, we're going to go right into Terminator Dark Fate. If you see how trash Terminator Dark Fate was, it's a shame. And to even expound on that point, Dark Horse had a litany of Terminator comics that were amazing material. That
I saw your tweet about that earlier. Yeah,
I saw Terminator the other day, and then I jumped right into this book. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, comics really got some good storytelling. I'm like,
Dark Horse
what happened?
Dark Horse was. Not only with Star Wars, but with Terminator, with Predator, with Aliens, with a lot of.
Listen, they're good, but the whole point is, if you're gonna retcon something, do it right. Terminator they ruined that retcon, right? And they need to retcon the retcon in Dark Fate. I think Disney needs to retcon the new trilogy they had in like a CGI something a la Rebels, Clone Wars. that would be sweet.
That's the word that I kind of can't talk about with you right now.
Yeah, if they do that, I'm going to tell you, if they do that, they're going to be making money again. That like the golden goose has been resurrected. If they really retcon the trilogy and really do something special.
You need to hurry up and finish Rebels so we can talk about this, because seriously, I'm dying. Like,
but they need to retcon this latest trilogy. You're saying?
Yes. Please, yes. Retcon it. Yeah,
I totally agree with you, man. But I also think they need to retcon the prequels.
I don't mind if you retcon the prequels. I don't mind, but yeah,
because Darth Vader can't be that prick.
Right. And you know what, Anakin? That's what's also tough for me for Clone Wars. And I wish they kind of had like a CGI where you see the Anakin from the Clone Wars really become the Darth Vader that we see in Rebels, or that we, you know what I mean? Because it's hard for me to connect those dots. It's like that. I get what you're saying with the prequels. The one thing I think the prequels did right was in how, if you see the Clone Wars TV show, they did a lot with the separatists, with the politic type stuff. They did it in a way that mixed action, where the prequels were just bad. It was like hard to watch. It was almost insufferable at times.
Yeah. But those shows, the Clone Wars shows, are like they work to make the prequels better.
Yeah,
that's what they did. That's what they made. They superseded the prequels. They superseded them, in my opinion.
Isolated, but if you watch the prequels as their own thing,
you'd have to watch. I mean, you'd have to watch like all.
Yeah,
you have to watch episode 1 and then episode 2.
All that stuff, of course. But it's almost like repair work for something that
it is, and it's hard. It's hard to watch even the prequels again. Because of the Clone Wars, I watched the prequels again, and I'm just like, I felt like you, Rob. I'm like, yeah, it was really tough.
I mean, like everything. The third one in particular for me, which people consider the best a lot. For me, the best was Phantom Menace of the prequels.
I'm with you on that. Because it's opening it up. I'll go with you there.
It's like the retardation is not. It's like it's in check. You know what I mean? It's like it's not. It doesn't go full.
I don't know, Jar Jar really, or young Anakin.
Jar Jar. Stupid. I'm with you. Young Anakin is definitely stupid, but Darth Maul.
I'm on Darth Maul's train. That's all I'm on. I'm on the Darth Maul train. He had the mystique. Yeah.
Darth Maul's the best thing about those prequels, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. And Disney, not Disney, Star Wars, like even Luke, because when they did the Clone Wars, they brought him back. It's almost like they knew he was too good to just cut him in half and leave him alone. Like they had to bring him back. And again, Clone Wars with Count Dooku. Holy cow! I fell in love with Count Dooku, and he is a big plot
our story,
in our story, because I'm like, the way he dies in Revenge of this, I'm like, no, I'm like, Dooku's a guy that has a contingency for everything. So he got something in the
kind of retconning his death in a really cool way.
He's the one interesting character, and that. They keep like trying to overshadow him.
Yeah, you're right.
With a coughing robot that has 10,000 lightsabers swinging.
Yeah, he wasn't. And that's the thing. Grievous too. He was really done well in the show, in the TV show. He comes alive. Yeah. So Rob, I'll just tell you this: as someone who really aligns with your views on the prequels, if you jump into the Star Wars with the episode directory, you'll be in for a treat, man. You'll be in for a treat, because for me that's what got me plugged right back in.
I'm all about
after The Mandalorian.
I think that the greatest strength of Star Wars for me is how solid the premise of the universe is. You know what I mean? And it's a playpen. It's a playpen that George Lucas created that for other artists.
To
sort of roam free in.
Yeah.
And it created a lot of the things that I like the most about Star Wars aren't even connected to the films. I'll give you an example. Dark Forces 1 and 2.
I played those games quite a bit.
Amazing games. KOTOR for me is
the holy grail.
Favorite Star Wars movie, I would say KOTOR, the first.
Rob, if you check the cover, on one of the Darth Krell Cometh variant covers we have a homage to HK-47. We have a HK-77 droid which that's he's one of these old units, these Sith Lord units that's just still operational. So
does he say meatbag?
I that's the thing. I want to make him say meatbag, but the thing is, HK-47. That was that just his way of talking?
Was that his thing or was that a model thing?
Yeah, I kind of want to keep that his and maybe
yeah.
The meatbag.
Yeah.
Do your own little
I do recommend if you have a PlayStation 4, check out Jedi Fallen Order. That's the latest, greatest Star Wars game.
Very happy to do that. Yeah, is that on the Xbox?
Yes, it is. Actually,
yes,
it is on the Xbox.
On the X-Bone. I call it the X-Bone.
The Xbox. Yeah. You'll like it, man. You'll like it because it has a cool story. The gameplay is pretty cool. The dual fights are pretty good. That playpen, you're just having fun in it. So definitely check out Jedi Fallen Order for sure.
It's funny that how there's something about the Star Wars universe that's so engrossing naturally for people. That kids are really drawn to it. My kid is like super drawn to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
It's something about the imagination to take you to another place, and
but he's like 3.
Yeah, my son. He'll say Star Wars. He'll even notice.
Yeah, that's because
What is it that he's drawn to in the first place? I guess the lightsaber and the look.
Like he could tell the look of maybe the stormtroopers or the look of Darth Vader, the look of the Padawans. Or the Jedi. He'll know because my son's 2.5, and I'll point. Literally, I got a poster of Star Wars in his room, and I'll point. I'm like, "What's that?" And it's literally the New Hope poster, like a little painting. It's he'll say Star Wars, and it's just funny. Sometimes I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order. He'll say Jedi, because I'm telling him, hey, look, Jedi.
There's something primal that Lucas tapped into.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my niece, she just watched Empire Strikes Back today, and she had seen the first Star Wars like last week, and she's kind of really digging it.
How old is she?
She's only 4. She's 4 years old.
Wow.
But which Star Wars? Like the old school ones?
No. What?
The old school Star Wars?
Okay. Yeah. She saw Star Wars, and then today she saw Empire Strikes Back. So.
She didn't get scared of Vader?
And she enjoyed it?
She loved it.
Wow.
These kids,
they're strong, man. They're strong.
You know what, man? I don't ever remember being surprised by the Vader twist.
No? I was when I saw it the first time.
I thought, it was something that was not so surprised because I was still young. I must have watched it when I was like maybe like 9, 10, 11-ish in VHS. There was something there. I just thought it was cool. Like, man, the universe could be so big, but your dad is literally this bad guy, and you never connected with him. But you could still feel like a love. You could still feel like you want like something there, and that always kind of mystified me.
I'm all with you. I'm not saying that it's not a surprising twist. It's an amazing twist. I just don't remember it because it's always been ingrained in my mind.
Yeah. So I guess you always kind of know.
The shock isn't as you can't recall it that way.
English. First of all, English is not my first language.
Okay.
As I was learning it, it's like the Luke, I am your father thing was. I remember that before any of the rest of the movies.
Yeah.
Is that movie where like that guy is the father of that other dude?
It's funny, man. It's just I think for its time too. Yeah.
Feel of like shock of like such a great moment. It's one of the great moments in cinema history.
But it's because, like you said, you're a bit younger, you're going through the language thing, so it didn't have that impact. But you did feel that impact with Couture, right? Like you did feel that impact, right?
I felt that.
Right? The Star Wars is there. Like, they were inspired and they brought a twist that no one would have thought would have been.
I would love if they remade Couture. That would be amazing.
It's so ingenious. And the thing is, like, after replaying it, I'm like replaying it and I'm like, I should have seen it coming.
Oh my gosh, right? Do you really think it's like it was there, but you never really put it together because you're just immersed in that world? You're like, oh my gosh, it was so good. It's so good. Hopefully they do a remake or something with that.
You're Darth Revan. Oh, sorry, spoilers.
Revan,
I think everybody knows that at this point.
Darth Revan that's it, man. I got a figure of Darth Revan literally, got up in a wall because it takes me to a special place. Darth Revan's always going to be
I
something.
wish you would make that something that I would like run to the theaters to watch.
I wish they would expound upon, Darth Revan, but then I don't know. I think maybe because of the freedom you had and how to make Darth Revan, I guess maybe if they made her a boy or they made her a girl or made her like this or made her like that, like, or they had her with this voice, like people would kind of be disappointed.
Be the same.
Yeah, it kind of would ruin that mystique.
I feel like the building blocks that they left there.
Mm-hmm.
Not Darth Malak. Sorry, Darth. What's the guy that's his partner with the mouth? So there's Darth Revan, and something else.
I think it's Darth Malak. I think you said it. Yeah, I think it's Darth Malak.
Darth Malak.
Yeah,
right?
it's Darth Malak. Yeah, he was the the apprentice, so to speak. Yeah.
Darth Malak's a really strong character as well, and that sort of dynamic between Revan and Malak.
Oh yeah.
Is enough without the twist, because you can't do the twist.
Yeah.
In a movie setting.
I haven't played KOTOR in a long time, so I'm kind of like.
No, I think you're right. I mean, if you'd remake it, I don't know how would you twist on that, but there's something there. And the problem is, even with this the Knights of the Old Republic that's set 3,000 years before everything we know and love of Star Wars, right? When you have the chance to play more with this, right, to do some more surgery here, create some more cool stories, Disney's making what's called the High Republic.
Interesting. Interesting. You should mention that, because the new details have come out on that, and they ignore the Old Republic era. It didn't exist. It didn't happen.
So exactly. So you know how you're saying you hate the fact that they're stricken away some stuff, right? It's almost like how do you throw away Darth Revan? How do you throw away that whole story?
They just did that. They
3,000 years ago. So now they got the High Republic. That's not 3,000 years ago. It's 300 years ago.
200, yeah.
Or 200 years ago. So like we're gonna focus on this 200 years before New Hope.
Yeah.
But
Steven just said something about it. He goes, if the cringe wasn't bad enough, looks like they really are retconning the history of the galaxy with this frontier age, a mere 200 years before the prequels. Apparently, the Old Republic just never happened. So
the Old Republic is the best. They're talking about the Jedi when it was at its zenith, right? For me, that's Knights of the Old Republic, because when you play the game, there's Jedis everywhere. You know what I mean? Like you see how Jedis they're all over the place. They're the police of the world, right? They're the policing the universe, and the Sith are just coming out. And this war, it's, oh my God, it's so rife. It's like it's such a perfect place to be with Star Wars. Even when you're thinking about, okay, there's no Darth Vader, there's no Empire, but they brought you something that was
Sith
so great and it worked.
Prime, the Sith.
That's exactly, but I'm saying, but even then, the Jedi were still formidable, and they were still, you know what I mean? Like it was such a dude. To just throw that away is another reason why we're doing this fan comic, because it's at the point where it's got to where it's gotten, where the only way I could fight back is by creating a story with Ron that we're passionate about, that we hope other fans would enjoy, and just to give you that real Star Wars feel, that Star Wars escape. Because again, we're fans of the video games. We're fans of even the TV shows. We're not fans of the new trilogy. Even though I wanted to be, I'm telling you, with The Force Awakens, I was jumping up. I was on the hype train. Yeah, I was really feeling it. I thought Finn with the Force-sensitive stormtrooper could have been something. Rey, I even liked Rey. I just thought that
I like Rey, man. You know what, man? I like the actress a lot, and I think people like shit on the actress for no reason.
No, I do not blame the actors.
No, she was great. I just felt that why the hell are you doing Jedi mind tricks?
I blame
so fast, you know.
I know, but like we have to separate the character from the actors. I think an infinitely watchable person. You know, she's just very charismatically. She's just got that almost like anime style.
She was if you look at her aesthetically, she was a great casting. Poe Dameron was a great casting. The castings were great. It's just the story armor just was no armor at all. It was just they're out there bare naked, and you're trying to sell us all this. And Star Wars fans are the most smartest fans, right? I mean, any type of fan that's loyal, reads all this extra canon stuff, they're on their game. You can't just mishmash something together and expect us to digest it and be like, yeah, we love this. We're not blind fools. You know, you can't just throw a piece of trash.
Well, it's ironic.
And expect us to be happy about it.
it's ironic because a lot of Disney Star Wars fans are kind of like just sheep, and they just eat anything up with
that's the new wave. The new wave. The fans that are not thinking out of the box. Those are the casual fans. That even then, the casual fans they're more Disney fans than anything. That Disney can't put out anything bad. Whereas some of the casual fans, they'll like it because, like, I guess it's cool.
Man, you know what's like so revolting about this, man, is that there's always, no matter how bad a product is, there's always going to be a generation of people that are going to defend it right to the to the death. You know. And I thought, I know you guys are more prequel. You appreciate the prequels more than I do, but I'm a hardlined OT guy, right?
Yeah, no, I am. No. Do not get this turned around. I am all about the OT.
Oh yeah, me too, for sure. That was
But I thought that, like, watching the prequels, there's no way that people are going to go like and be apologists for this. There's an entire generation that are not.
Well, I think that when you they
think they're better than the OTs. It's like people are like, I'm more of a prequels guy.
I know there are a lot of people that think that the prequels are better than the OT. I'm not at that.
I'm an OT general, and even being OT, I feel that you didn't have to really put Jabba the Hutt, make him CGI for like the new edition or whatever, the special edition.
What's interesting of that scene is that I'm kind of like mixed on it, and I'll tell you why. Because it's one more scene with my favorite Star Wars character, which is Han Solo. But at the same time, like, is that scene really necessary?
Yeah, it detracts because you just focus on the bad CGI.
Not only that, but it also kind of diminishes when you see Jabba for the first time in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, for sure. You know. And another thing and this is where George Lucas, again, this is where he's retconning his own stuff. This is where, hey, Skywalker Ranch, billionaire, Star Wars is a hit. Well, you know what? Let me go back and let me make it seem that Han didn't shoot first. And let's make it seem that let's put that Greedo actually shot first. I mean, come on, are you really?
But he's right. He's always retconned his own stuff, even before that, man.
And that's the problem if you think about it. That's like, in some ways I get it, but that's the point. It's like, you're a creator. Your original instinct for Han Solo worked, right? So now you're retconning because you think it makes him look cold-blooded. No, it doesn't. He had a gun to him.
I'll tell you another thing that he retconned. And that went against his original instinct that I think was a better take on the material, and that actually inspired something that I thought, like, if I ever were to do like a project similar to yours, it's sort of like latching onto this, which is the Sith. The Sith were originally envisioned as being wholly different from the Jedi. They didn't go around with a lightsaber or anything. They were like wizard, arcane, like creatures,
like the witches or something like that. Warlocks, kind of like.
It was like the witches versus the paladins, basically.
Okay.
And in fact, that's alluded to in the actual OT when the Emperor goes like. He makes some passing reference to that Jedi weapon. You know what I mean? And his whole shtick is completely different than the Jedi. It's like shooting thunder from his tips. The Jedis are more actually
with the lightsaber or using force to push you away instead of.
But there's another thing separate from the Sith, right? Called the Dark Jedi, and that's what Vader is. That's what Vader is. That's why he's got the Jedi weapon.
Well, I mean, no, Vader is a Sith, though. I mean,
but in the re-envisioned take of what the Sith are.
Oh, okay.
I have an issue too with Vader too. Yeah, just because that whole. I mean, if you see everything that we've seen moving up into Clone Wars, it's almost like he's literally just a pawn of the Emperor. And it bothers me. It's like, damn, man, think for your damn self. Like, it's just like you have this blind loyalty. It's like, dude, like, why don't you just kill him, do your own thing? I don't know. That just always bothered me, even more so when I got back into Clone Wars.
Let me get nerdier up in this piece, all right? Are you ready for this? All right. Yeah. So you know that the Jedi Code is there is no passion. There's only
that.
You know the
Yeah.
Jedi Code. We're gonna see this very quickly. You know, I'm not that much of a nerd that I know everything by heart. There is no emotion. There is peace, right? So they purge emotion from themselves. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There's no passion. There is serenity. There's no chaos. There is harmony. There's no death. There's the Force, right? So they purge all emotion. That's the whole shtick with Vader. His fall is the fact that he became in love with Padme, right? He gave in to his emotions.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, though, that's
but hold on, let me finish. He was cast out from the Jedi Council because he gave in to his emotions. So listen, if you follow the Jedi Code to its absolute extreme, what do you become? You become a soulless machine. And you become greater. Become greater.
Interesting thing about that in the expanded universe, when Luke Skywalker began to form the Jedi again, he revised that code.
Because you need to have passion, right? You need to have some semblance of emotion.
You need to have some emotion.
Yeah. So it's like a Jedi Code 2.0.
Luke actually
here's how that makes the Vader character much more interesting than what he is. He's basically the Bin Laden of the Jedi. He's the Jedi extremist. Once Padme died, he became so revolted that he said, "No, I'm going to immerse myself into the Jedi Code fully." And he created these offshoots of Jedi extremists that started wrecking the universe. And then the Emperor used that to tell to people, this is what the Jedi lead to. This is what the
he
Jedi
manipulate. Yeah, he was an easy manipulation.
That's more interesting than
that would have been interesting.
Rob, interesting though. Yeah.
No.
You know what's interesting though, because and this is where we get to Ahsoka's character, right? This is why the Jedi downfall is more on the Jedi than anything else, because due to their, I guess if you want to say, so focused on this old code and not adapting from it, there's a situation where everything evidence-wise points to Ahsoka, right, doing something really bad. But she's like, you guys know me. I mean, we fought in the trenches together. You know I would not kill this person.
Wait. Don't spoil it for him if he's going to watch it.
Oh, shit, man, my dad.
I want to watch it for sure, but I'm still hung up on the difference between the Jedi and the Sith, and how the Sith are all about passion, and you see that even in the Emperor, in the way that he expresses himself and speaks, everything seething with emotion and with uncontrolled spite and hatred and viciousness.
Yeah, the Emperor had the best lines in it.
But the same thing happened with Snoke. You saw Snoke; it's the same thing. Snoke, that's a Sith. That's what the Sith are supposed to be.
Snoke was a wasted opportunity.
Snoke was a waste of a character. Yeah,
absolutely. But I liked what Andy Serkis did with him a lot. And it was definitely a waste, because why would you even introduce this character?
Kill him off in the same movie. That was
kill him off in the same thing.
Yeah, I can't even.
I don't want to talk about Snoke.
But the Jedi Code, they needed to adapt, and Luke Skywalker did that adaptation in the extended universe that Disney doesn't even want to include as canon, and he did it in a way that was just marvelous. It was superb. A new breed of Jedi, like the way it should be. You know, you have discipline, but you also have honor. You also have emotion. Because that's where you draw your power, but it's not just reckless emotion, not just anger. You feed into the positive emotions, love, right? That kind of thing.
He retconned the Jedi Code, and it worked, and it was awesome,
But Disney retconned the Jedi Code, and now we're back with now, right?
But I just like so there's the Sith Code and the Jedi Code, and I like that if you follow one code to the extreme, you get to a certain thing that's not good, And that even the Sith Code, if you follow it to a moderate degree, that it could be a positive thing. You know what I mean? So there's no good or evil. There's
I like that. I like that balance, and that's where we have Dooku's plot device in our fan comic, because we feel that he knows about the Sith. He did his work. He did. He studied. That there's that balance of Sith that could work and not just be barbaric, not be like,
because the rule of two it was made because the Sith just kept on killing each other, like constantly. Like apprentices used to kill their masters, and then their apprentice would kill them, and their apprentice. It was like it just didn't work.
It was cutthroat, savagery, even cowardice. Because if you look at Palpatine, he's talking about Darth Plagueis and all this stuff, and then it's alluded that he killed him in his sleep. It's like, come on, man, how weak are you to like kill a foe in your sleep? I don't see that as something. I see that as weak. And we're Dooku's version of the Sith, and how we're planning it, where you could have a Sith work. It'd be a hierarchy that it expands, right? But there's like battles that are orchestrated with witnesses. It ties heavily into the battle aspect, but it's not where you got to watch your back, because when you're on a toilet, you could just receive a lightsaber in the back. Like we don't want to go there. It's like we want to show that it can be done, and they can be free thinkers, but rule with power and dignity, and not so much like how the emperor rules,
Right. Yeah. It's like a despot.
Exactly.
Dude, like I'm primed for it. So let me ask you something. What drew you to this character in particular? Because
that's all Gilly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You like Darth Maul, right?
Yeah.
So when you come across the Umbara arc, you're gonna see a Jedi who's on the verge of, or pretty already into going towards the dark side, but he's a force of nature. I never see. You already saw Darth Maul, right, with the dual wielded lightsaber, right? Imagine a dude with 4 arms, and he's dual wielding dual lightsabers. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. Not only that, he is a savant, because he's a Jedi Master to the highest order. Even up to Yoda status, I'll go there and say, because he received the vision of the destruction of the Jedi. And that's what led him to go to the dark side, because he saw the Jedi rule was just going to cave in on itself. So for me, it's like, this guy is like, he's a walking time bomb. How do you just kill him off and leave him as just getting shot in the back? But how they do that is awesome, because you got the clone troopers. And if you ever thought, hey, could clone troopers really take on a Jedi? They show you, and I'm getting goosebumps, because they show you with tactical, strategic, movements, you can, even though you're going to lose a lot of clone troopers in the process, but you could capture a freaking badass Jedi, badass Sith like Pon Krell without having, force powers and stuff. So that's another thing that I love. And he had such a hatred for the clones that I wanted to expound on that. Like, why does this guy just hate them? Because they're bred in the laboratory? No. I'm a writer. I go deep into layers. I go deep into emotions. There's something more than that. And that's another thing I wanted to explore in creating this fan comic, because I wanted the challenge of giving someone evil, someone that's people hate, a redemption arc. When we see Vader, he's such a badass, right? You can't think he can get redemption. You don't see it happening. He's force choking people to death. He's just, you never see a good in him, a shred of good in him. So for me as a writer, I said I want to take the challenge of making someone as loathsome as Pon Krell. I want to make people cheer for him. I want to give him a redemption arc. So that's my whole reason why I wanted to do that. And then Ron here, just because I know he loves Star Wars. He's more aligned with the good side of the Force. I said, if I could convince this guy to give Krell a chance, I know that real diehard fans, they won't see it, but if they hang with us, they're gonna see what Ron saw, and they're gonna feel the essence, the beauty of Star Wars. That's what we're trying to deliver with the fan comic, because again, it's hope. Right, and it's good and evil.
I'm sure you will, man, because Gilly, we've seen what you're able to do with your books. You're a fantastic writer from everything that I've seen. I mean, I haven't read like cover to cover, but I know what like a good writer looks like, and I don't have to read a book cover to cover. I have to like.
Gilly is.
In 2 or 3 pages, I know what's up, and I know Gilly knows how to.
I remember I read the first. What was it? 5 pages.
It's just passion, man. Yeah, just have passion when you're writing.
I read the first 5 pages. I remember I read the first 5 pages of Grom, and I was blowing up Gilly's phone like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!"
Are you crazy? I still, every time I go on a road trip and I go Galactic Road.
My son loves that damn song. Every time he wants to, he's like, "Go ham." He says, "Go ham." He says, "Go ham." I'm like, "What? Oh, Galactic Road to Ham." He's like, "Yeah, go ham." And then he wants to dance, and we start dancing. So yeah, man, I got the passion there. If I love Star Wars. Since I was little, it meant something to me. And man, with what we're seeing in stories, like franchises being destroyed, when we see it with Terminator, RoboCop, we see like all these reboots, and it's destroyed. Even in Star Wars, it's like I had enough, man. I want to show that you could make some stuff.
I was telling Herogeek because he was rewatching what was that show you were?
Yeah. Believe it or not, I'm actually watching Family Matters right now.
Family Matters. Family Matters. And I said, and I told him, listen, stock up on all those old shows, but in physical format because they're coming for it.
Hulu's been pretty good at keeping those on. They have that, and they have a.
They'll be phased out, right? It'll be hard to get. You have to keep the whole physical copies.
Until they say it's wrong, think it's not. It's not so cool. They did it with Gone with the Wind. They're trying.
God, yes, I can't believe that.
And they're going to. They're doing it with every statue you've ever built. So.
Yeah, you're right, man. So people like us, although we don't, I don't know, we got the wrong thing in our genetic code. It's just, but again, we believe in storytelling and Star Wars. If you're a damn Star Wars anything fan, it's about good and evil. You don't mix that. You don't muddle that. Don't muddle that. It's simple, good, and evil.
And I think that just from speaking to Herogeek, I know that he's going to remind you of that because he's very bent on getting us back, restoring the purity of the good characters. There seem to be no good characters these days. Everybody's like. And I'm all about shades of gray and everything.
Oh, for sure. We could have an anti-hero, yeah.
Shades of gray to work, you need a good character and a bad one. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you
right in the middle. But we need good guys to see, all right, that's the model, that's what the aspirational figure. You know what I mean?
Well, we're doing amazing stuff with this story. I'm excited to have people read it. I'm excited to have people I want to see what people think. I really want
this ain't just some ham-fisted, put together, ball of yarn. We're really trying to make something that would be sound by a Star Wars. If they read it, they're like, yeah, I could see that. Like, which we're respecting the universe, we're respecting the rules already established, and we're coming in to show that we want to bring something.
We're even thinking about bringing in a consultant to make sure, because I know a lot about Star Wars, but there are people that know even more than I do. So,
so that's how serious we're taking this.
So I'm gonna share my screen again, just to show you one thing that I think is sort of interesting, which is this character that Darth Krell, right? For me. I don't know when he was created. But for me, is a cross between a Krogan.
Oh yeah,
I can see that from.
I got to see what came first. Did Krogan come first?
I gotta find out. Like it's but it's a cross between a Krogan. Yeah, from this obscure video game you probably never played, but it's called Lands of Lore. And it's Baraka. Whoa, wow. Maybe it's not Baraka.
Baraka from Mortal
Kombat?
Oh, hold on. Now I'm confused.
I can definitely see the Krogan there. That's hilarious.
Speaking of that, I think they're going to remaster the Mass Effect trilogy for the next gen, so that's pretty awesome.
Lands of Lore characters. Let's see if I find the guy. Wow, why is he not showing up, man? A Lands of Lore 2 characters.
Or races too, right? Maybe species or.
Wow, man, the dude. Maybe did I just dream this dude up? Is that what it is? And there's a movie.
I don't know, man.
But the prequels came out first. But didn't he show up in Attack of the Clones?
Bakata. All right. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Bakata. Let's go to Bakata.
Okay.
Yeah, his speech did come out.
Potato Bakata, right? Oh wow, Lands of Lore. All right, Lands of Lore. It's this guy. It's this guy with 4 arms.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's my dude, man. Right here, man.
Oh wow.
See? So it's like a cross between a Krogan and this guy.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, this is a great game, by the way. It's like an old school RPG, like one of the best games of all time for me, and one of the first to like hire big name voice actors.
Nice.
Namely Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart played this guy over here, this king. And by Westwood Studios.
Patrick Stewart was also in Elder Scrolls. I forget which one though. I think Oblivion.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
He was in Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Yeah, Oblivion. He was the king.
This is king? I would dare say this is better though.
Okay.
Well, we putting something together for the fans, and something that will feel authentic to Star Wars, because again,
I like using the word authentic and genuine when it comes to describing what we're doing.
Dude, that's absolutely one of the words I'd use to describe it. Would you be against me playing the trailer or?
No, not at all. Definitely. Do it.
No, yeah, we got a voice actor in there. Yeah, I mean, we even got a score that Ron helped put together. So
I'm gonna
take it serious.
Listen, because there's there's 2 people that are watching our stream, which is the sum total of people that are watching it now. I'm joking. It's actually 1 person.
Hey, we appreciate you guys checking out.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah.
No, but listen, this is a small channel, but I promise you, after we've done this and once the stream is uploaded, that you're gonna get like 70 views or whatever, like 60 or
cool.
Awesome.
You're gonna get some.
Anything helps.
Anything helps, right?
Yeah.
And the point is to grow my channel, as well, and everybody hit like and subscribe or whatever.
Yes, please. Rob is a great creator.
Rob is awesome.
A great host.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, man.
I was telling Rob how.
Oh shucks.
I was telling Rob how much I enjoyed Tales from the Classroom, and how in my opinion Tales from the Classroom is actually in my top 3
nice.
Dude, I love it.
Books that I've read.
I love that you're saying that.
Yeah.
So there's a sequel, right? Or
there's it's.
I remember when we had you on our channel, right? It's bigger.
It's
right?
1 of 5. It's 1 of 5.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get the trade paperback for all 5 for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. If you don't get it, I'll send it to you.
No, I'm backing it, because the reason why I was telling Ron, I have a crowdfunded pile of shame. There's quite a few books that I've already read, and I've just been disappointed, man. Just disappointed. Just really disappointed, man. So once Ron said, no, I read Tales from the Classroom, I like that. I'm like, okay, good. Good. That's like saving grace.
Mm-hmm. Are we gonna do this? You ready, guys?
Yeah. Let's go for it. Yeah.
Strap yourselves in, please. All right.
I was taught to see beyond the veil of a Jedi, to harness and embolden the true power of one's mind, which in turn exceeds one's physical strength. All these lessons I've learned in life. However, the most valuable of all was learned in death. Krell is no more. DARTH KRELL COMETH.
What's going on, guys?
Damn, that's good, man. That's good.
Hey, man, but I love
Oh my gosh, that is. Oh, I haven't seen it in a while.
I love it, man.
Oh man,
I love it.
that's my promise to anyone who backs that we have a great story that we just want to tell because we love Star Wars. We're not in this for money. This is for passion. We would love to see this become canon one day. That's how serious we are about this. We just. Oh man, it's gonna be true Star Wars, good against evil, redemption story. That's just what we have in mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
And listen, and I agree with you. I'm certainly backing it. And
appreciate that.
Mario DePaulo says Tales from the Classroom is fun.
It is very fun. Very fun.
Fun. So check it out because I think you're gonna enjoy it as well. And guys, I'm so glad that you did this. Hopefully you can get at least a few backers out of this stream, other than myself, because I know I'm all about it.
Appreciate
Nice.
And nothing. I guess I'll catch you on the flip side because
Yeah, I gotta eat dinner. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
dinner too. But Rob, again, thank you so much for allowing us on your platform to talk comics, to talk Star Wars. And, Mariga DePaulo, appreciate you tuning in. And again, guys, till next time, we're definitely going to have Rob on our channel when we get more of the sequel to Tales from the Classroom. So definitely.
I love it. All right. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to end the broadcast in 3. It's going to be 3, 2, and then you're going to have a 1.
Later, guys.
Bye.